I love self-care.
All self-care me, please. All day. Is that some self-care over there? In whatever
I'm
form.
like, tag, I'm in.
Right.
I am very adamant about taking weekends off.
I love to hear that.
Right?
Yes.
Like literally away from the computer,
Yep.
period. I'm not fearful, but I have like, okay, let me let me teeter over here. Let me see. Like, how does that work for you in an entrepreneurial spirit as a mom, as a wife, as a woman? Like, what does that look like?
That fearlessness has served me in every way, in all of those spaces, in the best ways.
Yes.
Like, I could approach things from a standpoint of, let me try it out and just see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't believe in losses, I believe in lessons.
So 39, you were pregnant, and at the same time, you were in the process of losing your mother.
February of 2021, I found out I was pregnant. Profound joy. March of 2021, I find out my mother's going on hospice. Now I'm dealing with two competing emotions, profound joy and profound sadness.
Right.
And what that period of time taught me was that the most important person that I had to prioritize in that moment was me.
Welcome to the Real Connect podcast. I'm your host, Tamika Carlton, and I am super excited to have Lakila Bowden here with us. An Atlanta person, we up in here, all right? Traffic wasn't bad.
Yeah, the traffic that I was
you
in
said,
wasn't bad. I saw the bad traffic, and then I exited. So it's just grateful.
Smart driver in the Atlanta proper area, because that's how you got to be.
Yes.
Well, I'm super glad you're here.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Of course. I feel like when I even was introduced to you, I feel like your energy is super hype, like naturally.
Accurate.
Is that
facts? Facts.
Is that like, how do you stay hype all the time? Like, what's up with that?
You know, it's just innate in me. You know, I have a lot of just joy and fulfillment.
That's what I'm talking about.
Live with and that I feed and curate. Yeah. So I show up with that. Yeah. And I'm glad you could read it just from, learning about me.
Even your PR person was like, I love talking to her. Like, after I talk to her, like, I feel energetic.
Yeah.
I think that's really important, because a lot of people, you be drained. After you
that's accurate too.
Right? After you talk to them. And I feel like we need more people that are just naturally like in their oomph and feeling comfortable with feeling the vibe.
You know? I call myself the light in the room.
Okay.
And light has the ability to light other people up too.
Yes.
So I'm intentional about how I show up with my energy.
I love that for you and for all of us that's receiving it.
Right.
So you have a lot of experience. You've done a lot. I think before we get into all of the things of who you are, I went to your website, LakilaBowden.com.
Yes.
Okay. And what you said is the path to career success doesn't have to come at a cost of your health and personal happiness.
Absolutely.
What does that mean to you? And like, why did you even put that on your website ultimately?
That's a great question. Thank you for asking that. It is because, my background was that I started off in corporate, and I started off in corporate, like in undergrad, in internships and from then on. And, you know, if you've ever been in corporate environments, there's a lot of assimilation that happens.
For sure.
And there's a lot of force around cultural fit. And I've never been a cultural fit when it comes to the corporations that I worked in and was a part of. I've been a cultural addition.
What do you think, what makes you say you've never been a cultural fit?
There's a lot of expectation to kind of fit a certain mold. I was often the only woman, the only black woman, the only black person a lot of times. And people who just didn't share anything in common with my background, but a lot of times their backgrounds were very similar. And you know, that was exposure for me. I learned a lot in that space. But I think for many of us who don't fit, it feels like you have to find a way to fit. Right. And then you lose parts of yourself. Right. And I just believe very strongly in alignment and living in alignment, whether that's your personal relationships, professional environment. So, but, you know, when it comes to making a living, we often sacrifice that part of ourselves.
Absolutely.
And I found that living in my truth and living in my authenticity is where I've also tapped into abundance from a professional standpoint, a financial standpoint as well. And if I can help others be able to do that, especially women, then that's a part of my divine purpose.
That's
here on
your
earth.
thing. Okay, divine purpose.
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
For sure.
You mentioned alignment, and I think a lot of people use that word a lot. You know, it's like a big word.
Yeah.
You know, what does alignment look like to you?
It looks like being comfortable in the skin that I'm in, showing up as myself, and still being able to demonstrate my talents and show my gifts in a way that doesn't feel forced or doesn't feel like I have to dim my light. I think a lot of times we hamper the gifts that we have inside of ourselves because we don't feel like, people are going to appreciate it, or we're afraid to stand out, or it's uncomfortable and all those things. And I think when you show up in that way, in authenticity, you are able to be comfortable. The best version of yourself.
And you show, like you said, you show up as you show up fully, and naturally you're attracting the appropriate thing.
Magnetically attracting,
hello, come on.
Right? Like it becomes easier.
Yes, it does. And I think it is not easy to get to a place of alignment, I will say. I think a lot of people speak on it, but the truth is that it should be natural, but it's not. How was it getting to your process? Because it just doesn't happen overnight. You just like, I'm aligned. You know what I mean? Like, you just ain't like, I hate this life. I'm aligned now. Like
I decide I choose to be.
Right? It's like a process, and it takes some actions. Like, how did you get to a place? I know you recognized you had to fit in corporate, or you felt like that wasn't in alignment. But how did you move to being in alignment?
I think that one of the most important things that I did was get very, very intentional about strengthening my intuitive capabilities.
Okay.
Like, we can trust ourselves.
Yes.
Our gut is always telling us the right thing to do. We don't always listen, right? Like, but have you ever had those moments where you do a thing, it doesn't feel right, and then later you're like, I already knew that.
Yeah, that's true.
So once I started to see that I could trust that part of myself, I started to be very intentional about cultivating it and getting stronger in that space. And now you can't tell me, like, I know for myself the decisions that I'm making, the choices that I'm making. Of course, I have my mentors. Of course, I have people that I check in with, but I'm first checking in with me.
Yeah.
And just in doing the things that make that part of myself strong. It's a muscle. Your intuition is a muscle.
Yeah, I almost feel like being intentional. Like I always am very adamant about words and defining the words and what the actions behind the words, because I feel like to say you're in alignment means something. But what does that look like?
Right.
To say you're intentional, yes, you're intentional, but what does that look like? It means ensuring that if something doesn't feel good to you, you go the other way.
Yeah.
Right? It means saying, I'm not comfortable with this. Let me simmer on it. And if I get a yay or a nay, I'm going to move accordingly.
Right.
You started a great company with your sister, right?
Yep.
Tell the people about this company, because I feel like this is something that is not common.
Yeah.
But it's very important.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to speak on it. I want you to share what it is and why you two created it.
Absolutely. So spent over 15 years, in corporate America and getting those experiences, continuing to move up the ladder, all those things. My sister, her experience was very different. So my sister is unique in that she was born totally blind, has never been able to see. And that's actually not what makes her unique. What makes her unique is she's so down for shenanigans. And I'm a queen of shenanigans. Is she older or younger? We're 10 and a half months apart. Okay. I'm the older sister.
Okay. Love that. You like anyways.
I know, right? Like basically twins. And she's always been down for shenanigans. And that's an important part of this story. Her career path, though, looks so different than mine. She experienced a lot of career rejection early on. Just because, people would walk in the door, they would see her white cane and then just be like, oh, you can't do these things.
Right.
And automatically, like those kind of unconscious biases that pop up. But me having been her sister her whole life and seeing her do so many incredible, amazing things consistently over and over again, I knew what she was capable of. I've always seen my sister from a lens of capability. She may not be able to see, but she has incredible vision. So when the opportunity came for me to bring my skill sets and capital to a space where we could create something together, that's what created Isee Technologies. She was an early adopter, has always been an early adopter with technology. and started off as a technology trainer. And I said, well, we need to turn this into something. And that training and development and around accessibility turned into people development. And then we started getting corporate clients. We've worked with clients like Walt Disney, the Disney company. We work with Kraft Heinz.
So it's a technology company.
It's a training and development company, but we infuse technology in
Got it.
So a large part of what we do is actually around workforce wellness, especially that took off really towards as the pandemic started to wind down. And you started to see the cracks in the foundation of things were already there, but exacerbated people's level of burnout and stress. There was just this massive need for how do we cope? How do we deal with these things? How do we keep from our people burning out at all levels of the organization?
Yeah, and you left corporate at 37?
37, yeah.
Okay, what was that? How was that? Like, what was you thinking behind the scenes to get to that point? Because that's not, I would imagine it's not like an easy decision to just be like, it's a wrap. I'm leaving corporate, or you tell me what it felt like.
It was an easy decision. I knew before I made the move that I was going to do that at some point. I remember when I was living in South Florida, I was living in a condo that overlooked the beach. I loved it. But I was thinking to myself, can I be here in this space and travel like I do if I don't do what I do every day for other people? And I knew that I wanted that without the restriction. Yeah. So I started building my path. I was still doing my job, my corporate job, but I started making my money make money too. So I became the bank. I started private lending. I started mortgage note investing. I was in,
this was while you were working.
This is while I was working. Early investing in cryptocurrencies. And then I got to a point where the check was nice to have, but not a need to have. And you can just move differently once you have put yourself in that lane.
And you move differently with a different attitude.
Whole different attitude. Right, whole different attitude. And you show up differently.
Yeah, you do. Like, I don't need this. Stop talking to me crazy. Right?
I don't gotta be here.
Right. Like, you know who I am.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Like, real talk. That is real. So the role that I ultimately retired from, when I took that job, I knew that was gonna be my last role. In corporate. And then when the opportunity presented itself, I made the transition out. So I would say it was easy for me because I did the mental and emotional preparation and work well beforehand.
Got it. Like, you were already in a space that you had analyzed the situation. You had become comfortable with removing yourself from that.
Exactly. Now, mind you, my training throughout my career had really largely only prepared me to be employed by someone. So one of the most important things that I would say that I did for anybody that's thinking about pivoting is I extended myself a ton of grace for the things that I knew that I would have to unlearn or learn differently.
Like, did you already know that? You knew that you were going to have to unlearn things? Because I feel like most times people go into it with no understanding.
I would say that I knew I was going to have to unlearn things. I didn't necessarily understand the degree and what the learning curve would be. And that's where the grace comes in. Yeah. That's another one of those kind of phrases that people use a lot. But when the rubber hits the road, do you extend yourself grace? Are you kind to yourself? Do you exercise self-compassion?
Most people don't, yeah.
I did. Yeah. And that is what I think allowed my pace of acceleration into success in the entrepreneurial space, coming from corporate, to be to happen so quickly. Yeah, and effectively.
I love that for you. Would you say that you felt, because I know a lot of the work that you do is about burnout, and we'll get into the deepness of that later because I want to harp on some other things. But would you say that you felt burnt out when you were in your corporate situation?
Fortunately, I did not.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I didn't.
Come through.
I didn't.
Okay.
And that's why I train on it, I coach it, I teach on it. My keynotes are about it because I've figured out what I've codified into the cheat codes of how we can. I think burnout is 100% preventable.
For sure.
Absolutely. And I think that if you know the signs, what to look for, and the things to do from a preventative standpoint, that's what the cheat codes that are a part of my book are all about, is that the preventative things that we can do. Or if you're already in the midst of it, we can correct that. You can course correct around it. So,
I mean, burnout is a whole different topic in itself because I feel like, a lot of times, yes, it's preventable, but it's also, when you're in the trenches of it, you don't typically know what's happening.
Right. It shows up
unless someone tells you the signs beforehand and then you're aware. But it is tough. Burnout is tough. Yeah. It's a tough scenario, especially for women. And I love the data points that you talk about burnout and just women with self-care. Like, can you speak on some of the data points that you share? Yes,
Absolutely.
because I love some data.
Look, I know. I can tell. You kind of perked up. Like, you got some numbers? Because we can.
I'm like, come on.
Give me the numbers.
Hit them up.
No, there are tons of studies that show that women burn out at a rate of 1.5 times men because we're just dealing with some different things. We have different invisible loads we're dealing with.
Always.
And 2 out of 3 women, when it comes to self-care, they feel guilty when they think about prioritizing themselves and they take time for themselves. And it's that guilt that holds us back a lot of times from doing what we need to do for ourselves.
Yep.
So that's what we address first. I have a conceptual model that I created called the permission to power pyramid. And it starts with permission intentionally. Because once you give yourself permission to prioritize self-care, that's when you can be more successful at the practice of self-care.
Yeah, I'm the complete opposite. I love self-care.
All self-care me, please. All day. Is that some self-care over there? In whatever form.
Tag, I'm in. Right. I'm just like, I feel like I do so much that I can't even calculate until I get to a point where the struggle is real.
Yeah.
So I am very adamant about taking weekends off.
I love to hear that.
Right?
Yes.
Like literally away from the computer, period. Like don't talk to me about nothing work-wise. I'm very adamant about taking a day on the weekend. My husband knows that. Like Tamika ain't doing nothing for a day.
Leave you alone.
Right. And like, I think that there's something to be said about just understanding that it's okay, because it took a minute for me to get to a point, to recognize that I have seasons, and we all have seasons of productivity, right? We're heavy in it. We could do whatever we want for 4 months, 3 months, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And then there's a lull.
Yeah.
And that is just who you are. Like, accept that.
Yeah.
And then also, there's nothing wrong with saying, I just need my time.
It's okay to tap. One of my favorites, so I'm a mom.
Yeah.
I have a 3-year-old. And
love that.
He is the light of my life. He's my joy. He requires a lot of me.
Yes, for sure. 3-year-olds is like Anna boy.
Okay, Anna boy who loves his mama, and I love him too.
And I love that.
And I take my mommy staycays.
Yes,
like I will go check into a hotel in Midtown real quick.
Oh,
like
I
y'all
love
will
that.
see me in 2 days later. Not
and there's
one.
nothing
2.
wrong with that.
Absolutely nothing.
I feel
wrong
like
with
a lot of people feel guilty
for
that.
Yeah, it comes back.
But how do you perform better?
You come back
refreshed.
More full.
Yes.
You come back. I'm ready to go when I come back.
Yeah, you're like, come on, son, where we going? He's like, I'm
right, where you been?
like, I'm tired now.
Right. Exactly.
I love that. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I know in your bio, I love this for you. You talk about your education. You went to North Carolina A&T. You're all about your HBCU.
Aggie pride.
Aggie pride. I remember I went to a college tour there, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. It was this cool spot. How was your experience at an HBCU? And just,
absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
And for so many reasons. It's lit. A&T is lit. You know, we have what they call the greatest homecoming on earth.
Okay.
GHO. It really truly is.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I don't make the rules. But beyond that, because a lot of times HBCUs get this rap, like we're so much fun because we party.
Yeah.
Yes, we had a phenomenal time.
For sure.
We had a phenomenal time. And guess what? People learn best when they're enjoying themselves.
Yes, correct.
I was a finance major at A&T. I worked in the dean's office, the dean of the School of Business, Dean Weiser Craig. He passed recently. But everyone took care of me. I remember I had a scholarship and something happened with the money right before I got there. He called my grandmama's house to be like, come to school.
See, that's
we
like
got you.
the family dynamic.
That's
like
what I'm
we
saying.
take care of everybody. We need that more.
I was
in today's
taken
world.
care of.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was from Fayetteville, North Carolina. I had never really been anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And this was only 2 hours away in Greensboro. But it felt like the other side of the world to me. So to have the dean of the School of Business call my grandmama's house and say, you're good, come here, we'll work it out.
Oh, so you're from Fayetteville.
Yeah.
And before we even started this interview, like you were talking about how you've traveled a lot and lived in different places. Like what made you comfortable enough to kind of step out of, because a lot of people that are from smaller towns are not
Could have easily been me.
Yeah.
I thought, North Carolina was it. My family didn't have a lot of money, so we didn't travel a lot. Any experiences that came to Fayetteville, my mom brought us to, but we didn't travel. What A&T was instrumental in that. My very first internship was in Albany, New York. It was with General Electric, 'cause I was a financial analyst. And going from North Carolina to Albany, New York.
That's a big deal.
First of all, I knew nothing. I was like, I'll be fine. I don't need a car. You guys have subways there, right? And they were like,
yeah, not in Albany.
Is Albany. Right.
Not in Albany.
I was all in New York, just New York. I had never been anywhere.
Yeah.
That first internship, going to just simple old Albany, New York, I was like, everywhere must be different. This is so different. And that started me traveling all over the world. I've lived in maybe 8 states. I don't know, a ton of states, 8 states. I've been to a ton of countries. I just got that. I wanted to go see and go have these different experiences. And I think it's vital for everyone to go somewhere and be a foreigner.
And what has that done for you? Like just traveling, experiencing different things?
It opened up a world for me of exposure. I think a lot of times it's not about how smart you are and talented and capable. A lot of times it's just about exposure. And that exposure, it allowed me to grow and my gifts to show up in all these different ways. I met people from all over the places, religions. It just gave me such an appreciation for differences and also an appreciation for where I'm from.
Yes.
I've always felt like I can always go back home, no matter where I went in the world, and the confidence that it allowed me to move with.
Yeah.
And no matter what I tried, because I would try some things. My dad always said, she don't know no fear. I don't, because it doesn't work
I love that.
I can always
How
go home.
supportive was your family just in you kind of embarking on new adventures? And like, were they fearful? Because I know sometimes people that, families that are like, we ain't done that, so I don't know.
There was definitely, I was the first to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
The first to do a lot of things. And I have to say, now that I'm a mom, I have a different appreciation for what my mother and father must have been going through when I would call them and be like, I'm in Bali. Yeah, I'm just in Bali, or I'm out in the streets in the middle of the night in actual New York City. Because I would just get up and go. Like I had my friend groups, and then when I met my husband, like we're get up and goers. So if they were worried, they didn't instill that fear in me, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate that.
It didn't give me that, like I could approach things from a standpoint of let me try it out and just see what happens.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in losses, I believe in lessons. So even if something didn't work out or I traveled somewhere and which I really didn't have any bad experiences, but it just that not having that fear inhibiting me allowed me to really embrace.
Seem your energy wise, you seem fearless.
I feel fearless.
Is that true?
That's accurate. Okay. That's very accurate.
Like, does that, I would imagine, because I'm not going to say that I'm not fearful, but I have like, okay, let me let me teeter over here and let me see. Like, how does that work for you in an entrepreneurial spirit as a mom, as a wife, as a woman? Like, what does that look like?
That fearlessness has served me in every way, in all of those spaces, in the best ways. I met my husband being fearless. He happened to be visiting Miami one day with some friends. My girlfriend was like, hey, my guy friend's in town and they rented a yacht. Y'all want to hang out? Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
You're like, whatever.
I got a swimsuit.
Wait, what sign are you? What's your sign?
I'm a Cancer, July.
Are Cancers normally fearless?
I have no clue. I know I am. I get a lot of people who say, oh, well, women
I
Cancers.
think they are adventurous.
Exactly. I think
but y'all a little sensitive.
I don't know about
don't be trying to fight it.
I'm empathetic.
Okay.
I'm empathetic, for sure.
Yes.
But don't be trying to fight it.
Don't be trying to fight the truth. I was just saying.
Right.
But yeah, that's awesome. You met your husband being fearless.
Met my husband being fearless, and we, hit it off. Hey, I don't know how much we can talk about this podcast, but the first night was great. We skinny dipped when we met. And just it led to,
Damn, talk about fearless.
I'm just saying. And it was like, hey, we should get to know each other better.
After we skinny dipped.
Right.
I know you, you know me.
He proposed a year later and we eloped a month after that.
Oh my God.
We just celebrated 8 years.
That you said that you eloped, because I just had another guest that was talking about elopement. Yeah. It's like, that's what she does. So what did that look like? Because that's not common for people to elope. Like, you just knew you wanted it.
When he asked me, I was ready. He was ready. We had a friend who lived in St. Lucia. She looked it up, and it was just the two of us. It was just, and we called our parents at the airport.
Wow.
And my mom said, I knew you were going to do this.
Shut up.
We threw an amazing jammy jam for our 1 year anniversary.
Not the jammy jam.
It was a jammy jam of all jammy jams.
I'm here for the jammy jam.
But the wedding, the marriage, my husband is an incredible man. His name is Eric. He matches my vibe and my energy, even though I'm like bouncing off the wall.
Yeah, he's probably more calm.
He's a bit more, but he's introspective. When he speaks, I talk all the time. When my husband speaks, he has something to say.
That's what I'm talking about.
And he is a part of my self-care.
He's a part
of my self-care. He
preach to the people out in the world, okay? Because people don't, most times partners are not part of their self-care.
He absolutely is. How you teach people how to treat you based on how you treat yourself. Correct. I treat myself extremely well. He treats himself extremely well, and we treat each other well. We're gentle and kind with each other, and we know that harmony is our North Star, and we honor that. And we have a great time together. I mean, we're fun. We're turned together.
We're turned up. I mean, I can imagine while y'all skinny dipping the first.
That's our thing.
Right. Like, that's beautiful. Yeah. How long have you two been together?
8 years. We've been married 8 years this August.
Wow.
8/28. That was
8/28.
Yeah.
So anniversary is coming up.
It just passed.
Oh yeah. I don't even know what today is.
No, because how did it become September already?
Right. I'm like, what is today? How was it? Did you do anything for your anniversary?
We went to Riviera Maya and we just spent time just together.
That's wonderful.
Just being, it's a busy, and now we have a child, it has changed the dynamic.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Right?
A 3-year-old.
A 3-year-old at that. So just the chance to just sit and connect and be together and talk interrupted or just be quiet.
Yeah.
You know, it's
well,
beautiful.
And that's a beautiful thing for you to be able to be quiet with your partner because a lot of people are not apt to do that.
Right.
Yeah. But that's important to be able to just have a partner that you can be centered with and don't need all the hoopla around it. Right. All right, so you went to a HBCU. You also went to Emory for your master's, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you like to learn, apparently.
I like, what did I like?
You like to just keep it going. Okay.
That was early in my, I was in my early 20s when I got my MBA. And the company that I was working with at the time paid for it in full. So it only made sense.
That was very smart.
Undergrad was no debt. Grad school was no debt.
Oof. The good life over here.
Hello. Okay. I'm all about.
I don't want to pay for nothing.
It makes sense, right?
That's
make the money make
wonderful.
Sense. It was a phenomenal, and I didn't even back then didn't understand how important of a move that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like learning. My perspective about learning changed and whatever. I used to be, in undergrad, I was K through undergrad, a straight A student, got to have A's. But what I started to learn was it was more about the experience and who am I there with and who am I connecting with and all those things. That's what grad school was.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So I think the paperwork matters. I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but I think a lot of times, especially as women, we feel like we have to be credentialed to the hilt and then we're qualified to do it. It's already in us. The paperwork is a lot of times is checking a box so that people know how to do things.
Right.
But it's not like
it's not a necessity.
It's not a necessity.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this is a good segue too. I mean, I would imagine based on your education and just your background and just who you are, you've been able to get into doors where you've been able to help or speak at, major companies. Like, what does that look? Look, you're like, I got it. Yep, you right.
Show you right. Show enough.
Show enough. And that's our book title.
That's show enough.
But seriously, like, I do think the credentials help push a little bit of,
and they're what you make of them.
Yes.
Right? Like I said, I show of my light. And I was born with that. I was born with that. And, the paperwork, it helps,
Yeah. And you help, when you speak in companies, you help them see just like how important accessibility is. Why is that important? Because most companies may not really necessarily think that is important.
I think a lot of times when we're thinking about accessibility, we're often talking about people who have disabilities, and we can immediately our minds go to they need help or they need a handout, and we're looking at them from through a lens of limitation. And that's one of the benefits of having grown up so closely with my sister Camille, is that all I've ever seen her do is be capable. And when we can shift our thinking to look at people through a lens of capability, then we start to see, you know, what are the different areas where they bring value to an organization. And everyone needs, and then that's everyone. We all want to be viewed from a lens of what we're capable of.
Yeah, right? And it should be fair.
Right.
So you're the COO. And Camille is?
She's a CEO.
CEO. Okay.
Yeah, she started doing, before I left corporate, she was doing this work. I helped formalize it. I helped bring the structure to it.
So do you two work alongside each other all the time? Is this?
Yeah, we do. We have a team. We have a team of facilitators and therapists and people that, you know, handle trainings and development, things like that for us. But, you know, we're the strategic decision makers. We definitely we operate in our gifts and our lane. I came from a background of operations, so I bring that to the table. And Camille's just, when she walks in the room, people just gravitate to her. Yeah. She has a way of captivating people. And once she gets their attention, a lot of times she's the first blind person that anyone has ever met. She's absolutely fabulous. And it's like, I didn't think about somebody being blind, caring
and fabulous.
about, and fabulous. I wouldn't think about somebody being blind, caring about what they have on. Yeah. She cares very much.
That's what I'm talking about.
Loves to show up and show out.
I love that. You like loves to show. I feel like y'all two, I mean, with the energy together, like how is that? I'm trying to tell you,
it's a good time.
Ready. Okay.
It's a good time.
We ain't ready. We are not ready. We're going to have her on the show too.
Right. Yes.
So you have your upcoming book,
The Shown Up Principle.
What is that book about, and why did you write this book?
I wrote this book because I want every woman to become the most well-celebrated and well-cared for version of herself without guilt or apology. So this book is written to be the battery in every woman's back, to prioritize her self-care, to clap while she's climbing. It doesn't matter if you're in the midst of building a thing or doing a thing. Give yourself your props for the small wins, for the big wins. And the book is a good time. It's like toasting with champagne. And, you know, I wanted it to be a vibe.
And I think something that, you know, going through your Instagram and just everything, you know, something that resonated with me was that, and something that always resonates with me with people in general, is when you have a story.
Yes.
And when you show up to tell your story. I mean, you went through a tough period. You were pregnant at 37? Is that?
At 39.
39, I'm sorry, 39. Yeah. 37 was when you quit your job.
That's when I quit my job, my good job.
Right, I'm like, wait a minute, I know the number. Okay, so 39, you were pregnant. And at the same time, you were in the process of losing your mother.
My mother, yeah.
And that's a serious...
Very serious.
How did that, like that story, I mean,
that's real life. I actually opened the book telling that story. Yeah. February of 2021, I found out I was pregnant. Profound joy. March of 2021, I find out my mother's going on hospice. Now, I had been taking care of her. She had cancer, and it had been a couple of years that I'd been taking care of her. We thought she was going in a different direction, and then things took a turn during COVID. And so I find this news out. Now I'm dealing with two competing emotions, profound joy and profound sadness.
Right.
And what that period of time taught me was that the most important person that I had to prioritize in that moment was me. A lot of people would give everything, all their last to everyone else. And I have to save my mom and I have this baby on the way. But I had to focus on me. And my orientation was towards joy. And that joy, it exuded to her. It exuded to my son. Their hearts were beating in the same plane at the same time. And I find joy in that. Even though she wasn't physically here, she ended up passing in July 4th. And my son was born 3 months later. They know each other. They're connected. And I think it's because I know it was because I was so intentional about how I showed up for myself. I closed the book out talking about how the month before my mother passed, we took her to the beach and we were sitting in the room overlooking the ocean, and she was holding my hand and she said, "I've had a real good time."
Wow. I mean, the chills.
And that let me know, that was my affirmation. Yeah. That that was the right choice.
And you did the right thing by allowing yourself to care for yourself. And then you were able to care for your mother and be there in the right way. Like,
be there for her.
Yeah.
It went from, while I was caring for her in the earlier stages of her cancer, it went from trying to save her life. Then it became, once it was clear what the outcome was going to be, it became making sure that the life and the time that we had left was as full as it could be. I mean, we laughed, we talked in ways that not everybody gets that opportunity to prepare in that way. I mean, you're never really fully prepared. But the day that my mother passed, I just finished a hike with my maternal wellness group. And my word, at the end of the hikes, they would always ask for a word. My word that day was prepared. And then maybe 10 minutes later, my husband got the call that my mother was no longer, she had transitioned to the ancestral realm.
Oh my goodness.
So,
talk about a full circle situation.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So.
Whew, that's a lot. But you have your son, Zaire.
Zaire.
I love that name, by the way.
I do. I love saying his name.
Yes, I love that. And I'm sure your mother is a part of who he is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And she puts him up to stuff.
She puts him up to stuff. I'm here for it. Thank you, Mama. Okay.
He's always eating off my plate. Like, I'm like, this is my mama's. I used to eat off her plate all the time. Like, his little mischievousness, it's my mom.
I love that. I love that. Well, to close it, before we get to our speed round questions, because I love speed round, why did you title your book Show Enough?
I love it. I called it the Show Enough Principle because the Show Enough Principle is a thing. So the Show Enough Principle means that what you tell yourself about yourself will show enough become a part of your reality.
Hello. Well, show enough.
So we have the choice to feed ourselves with good things. I created these 7 cheat codes to codify what are the ways that we can create the experiences, the reality that we want to have, because it's show enough possible. And it's just fun to say also.
Show enough.
Exactly.
Did somebody used to say that to you? Where'd that come from?
You know where it came from? I've always been a person that's been very good at accepting compliments. You're a great speaker. Show enough. Show you right. This is a real thing. A lot of times as women, when someone compliments us, we caveat.
Yeah.
Oh, you're dressed nice.
Else.
Oh, this isn't this thing. It took me forever to put together. I need to lose 10 pounds. We're going to this whole line of
ordeal. Yeah.
Where we're undercutting the compliment. No, own that. Take it. Show enough. Show you right.
That is so funny. I'm sorry. Now I'm about to start saying that. That's hilarious.
Yes.
All right. I feel like this is perfect for you because you mentioned you were getting hyped before you came. What's your go-to hype song before?
Thank you for asking me for that. Thank you for it is MC Hammer. Let's get it started. If you don't know, let's get it started. Let's get it started.
Not MC Hammer.
MC Hammer. I'm an 80s baby.
We about to put that on the podcast at the end. Okay. Okay. Guilty pleasure, snack, or meal.
I'm working on this right now because I have a book launch coming up. Dark chocolate. I
love dark chocolate too. I do too. Dark chocolate is the bomb.
Give me some dark chocolate.
All right. Two more. What's your favorite part about writing the Show Enough Principle? Or what was your favorite part?
It was writing my story about my mother and it was so cathartic to share those details.
I bet.
And I know she was proud. I know she is proud. And this is how I live. So writing it and putting it on wax, as I like to say.
It was like, this is it.
This is
in this phase.
Yes.
Like, and you very well may have another book that
I do. It's already.
See? Come on. See? Hello. I already know.
Yes.
All right. Last one. Finish the sentence. Real connection feels like.
Real connection feels like fuzzy socks.
Hello.
I love me some fuzzy socks.
I love socks, period.
Like we have on a lot of clothes right now. And that's cool because there's cameras.
But if we could just be up in here.
Girl.
And with you skinny dipping with your husband with just some fuzzy socks. Okay, we already know.
You see what I'm saying? Fuzzy, that's a real connection. Just that level of comfort. You don't even have to think about it.
I love that.
You kind of want to rub your feet together a little bit.
I love a good feet rub. Okay. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Congratulations on everything you're doing with the show. Real connection matters.
Yeah, it really does. And we need more of it.
Right.
Seriously.
That's how we up that 14% of people who are
happy because they over here struggling.
Right. They're not like, we got to get them some more joy. Real connection will do it.
It's true. This is it.
Yes.
Well, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on socials, TikTok, it's Instagram, Lakila J. I'm on LinkedIn, Lakila Bowden, and you can check out my website, lakilabowden.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Real Connect Podcast. Keep it up. Keep watching, and we'll connect with you later.